as far as like being involved in trading, how long has that been so far?
Well, my story is short because I started to get involved with cryptos, like, was it last year? Something like that. And I made some moves. First, I had to like, you do the big step, you take the risk, you buy these cryptos, and then I did a good move, and they did kind of like double or almost triple what I did, and I was like, oh, this is so easy, like, wow, you know. And that was like how I opened the door to this world. Then that's where it started, and I start to see like, okay, actually, if I would do this, if I would sell here, if I would buy here, you know, I start to evolve from this holding to this trading, kind of like the trading world start to open to me. And then I made some moves, and you know, then there was some huge crash, you know, and then I was like, oh my God, I made some very big mistakes. And then I start to discover about different systems and tactics, and I found Elliott Wave. And I was like, okay, wow, this is interesting. I found Wyckoff methods first, and then Elliott Wave, and I was like, wow, this is really like interesting stuff. And I believe in this kind of like law of attraction and this kind of magnetism, because I started to do before any cryptos or anything, I have been studying Kiyosaki, and I've had different, how could I say, like mentors or some, you know, teachers. I have found stuff because I have my own goal for life to get like, I have a burning desire for, how could I, if I would say like to get rich, that would sound a little bit, maybe it's not even what I really mean, but it's I have a burning desire to expand my wealth. But you know, like if you say get rich, many people might really not understand it completely, but I have a burning desire to become wealthy and successful and expand my means, because then through that I'm able to do greater things. It can make me a greater version of myself. So things start to fall, you know, pieces of the puzzle start to form, and then these cryptos, I believe now it's a path for me to open the door to the trading world, because I came to the crypto scene when it had already made a lot of those huge moves. But what it had taught me, actually, the crashes and the losses, they have taught me more, because I think most of the people would have just like given up. Oh, this doesn't work. But for me, it have, you know, taught me the most. The biggest crash taught me most, and it pushed me through. That's how I found Wyckoff, how I found Elliott Wave, and how I found Elliott Wave is how I found you. And I'm so grateful and happy for that, finding you as a mentor, because it's like studying with you. It's like I would be driving a Ferrari on a speed lane, versus of if I would have just be on my own studying some books about Elliott Wave and this and that. I would be like, you know, walking. Compared to that, how much I have learned. I have learned so much that it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's insane. And it's all thanks to you, because it's amazing.
Have you been with us? How long have you been?
I think I've been with you guys like from July maybe, or August, something like that.
Okay. Like interesting.
Very short time. And I will be with you like at least 2 years from now on, because I like the analogy when you say that doctors, they study for 6 years, you know.
Yeah.
So if you become a trader, I'm just going to study with you like many years, because how much I have learned in 2 months, I can just imagine what I can learn in few years. And the daily bread, what you give us, you know, the live sessions, it's completely superior for any books or anything. You learn so much. Like, that's my experience.
It's amazing that you have that much passion, and it's admirable that you're motivated and maintaining that through all of this.
It was amazing because I had some losses. I was on minus, and then I was having losses from crypto. And then when I learned the things from you, what you teach, after like maybe month and a half, first of all, I learned very fast to see the trend. And now I cannot like unsee it.
Yeah.
I just see it. And then there's so much to learn, but that's like the most simplest thing is that you can see the trend and then the correction, you see? And then when I start to see that after 1 month and a half, I did on my own. I saw the charts on my own. It was not coming from anywhere else. And I did make back my losses from those. So that was completely amazing to me. And it's all thanks to you.
You were all just focused on crypto.
Yeah. I'm going to like get out of cryptos and start to enter the ocean of forex trading. Yeah. Because I think that's the place to be, because like I was able to make back the losses from what I have learned from you, and based on something that I saw on my own, that I didn't get any tips or anything from anywhere. I just saw it myself from the skills I have learned from you.
And you were looking at all time frames, or short or long?
Yes, definitely. All like start from the very 2 days, 1 day, or maybe even, I don't know, sometimes even weekly, just to coming from the further, longer time frames, you coming down to the shorter ones.
Okay. So it was like crypto was what got you interested. Now, after you've been with it for a while, your idea of trading is kind of expanding, maybe some other markets as well.
Completely. I'm definitely going to even get out from crypto and enter the endless opportunities in forex, the ocean of opportunities, because it doesn't really matter what's the market, like bear market, bull market, whatever market, there's always opportunities in forex. And I think cryptos are having a lot of this FOMO, like, oh my God, I gotta, fear of missing out. Like, oh, I gotta enter here now because now it's gonna make that crazy move. So that's also kind of stressing, because, and it might lead you to make some, not the best decisions. I like that idea in forex that it doesn't really matter if I missed some chance. So what? Who cares? There'll be another one, next week.
It's amazing how much cryptos do make readable patterns. They're not perfect, but if you study them, you can read what they're doing.
Yeah, and actually the volatility that the cryptos have is good, obviously, but sometimes there might not be enough volume, and then also the timing of the cryptos. When do they move? It's not as clear. But I also like the idea of being a professional trader, and in forex you also have the London session, the New York session. So, and then the weekends are slow, so you can kind of like have that routine in your life that you work from Monday to Friday, and then weekends are off, and you don't have that fear of missing out every chance. You can kind of like really make a living out of it.
And so you're starting to see more opportunity and consistency in your own trading.
Yeah, definitely. The skill set that I've learned from you already now, it's amazing. It's mind-blowing. I don't think I've ever learned from anywhere as much as I've learned from you in such a short time. And because you're a real teacher, you teach from your experience, and the insights are amazing. So I'm just so happy that my first, paid trading course was the trading mastermind with you, and I believe it just, it's part of this bigger plan that I have, that, the mentors that just, they appear when there's a will, there's a passion, there's,
when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And well, I'm just very gratified and thankful to be able to help someone who can appreciate it, because it takes extraordinary people, I think, to really appreciate. A lot of people just aren't interested in learning the way the market really works. They want to be deceived, I think, unconsciously.
And also, like, you make it so simple, and so it's so easy to learn, and it doesn't have any unnecessary stuff, because like I have ordered books and I have, and then I just realized the other day that actually I even get the most when I just participate in every daily session you keep. It's just even more than any books. Then I can, if I have some spare time, I can check a book, and that will always reflect back on what I have learned in the daily session. So I can actually get more out of the book after. But like now my priority is your daily sessions, like twice a day from Monday to Friday. As I just try to be present at every session, because
you are able to attend London and New York these days.
No, at this moment, but it's also I have to, my schedule, sometimes it takes me off, but whenever it's a possibility for me, I prioritize the daily sessions instead of learning from books or whatever, because the daily sessions are the golden, learning spots.
You've been trading like things like Bitcoin against another crypto or against Tether and all those things.
Yeah, I've been using the futures, and then also the margin accounts. Been using Binance, for instance. As long as you're not in USA, then you can use Binance. For the US customers, they have the Bybit, is one of those platforms where you can like trade those futures contracts. So you can just actually sell or buy long. You can short or buy long.
US can't do that.
US can do that in Bybit, but they can't do it on Binance. But for every other like Europeans or Asian customers, they can use Binance, and Binance have an option to use the futures where you can actually just sell or buy, or then you can have a margin account or even a spot account. With a margin account, you kind of like borrow like crypto, and then you can, if you sell it short, then you will, in the end, you will kind of like, you have to repay the crypto. So it's an extra step in it, but you can still do it. I've been using all of them as tools, but now lately I've been just doing Bitcoin against Tether, since I kind of learned that the volume thing, that not all the cryptos move so well. And then also we have learned that Bitcoin might be exaggerated sometimes, like it's making crazy moves. That's why kind of like coming out from this like holding coins or doing some little swing trading kind of thing, and really start to learn a professional trading, I start to understand that actually, you might trade cryptos. You might, and definitely if you're in the crypto game, you're like teaching this golden stuff, because you will learn so much from there. But for me now, as being in the crypto scene and not being in the forex scene yet, forex seems to be, it's having an appeal for me to dive into forex, because I can see the benefits there. I can see that endless possibilities, a lot of volume, timing. There's so much benefits for me to now, when I'm learning to become more professional trader, to get into forex, because that's the sea, the ocean.
Oh yeah, and some of these cryptos I have only just started to even look at because of you and Jim, and because of the interest in that. And then I start looking at it, chart of Tether, and think that's interesting. But then where is the clarity in the crypto market? And you can kind of tell where the clarity is, and by looking at them together and comparing them.
Yeah, and it was amazing. I wasn't yet in your group, but how you guys like or you did identify from the total chart that you predicted the whole crash.
Oh yeah, that was an amazing discovery, even for me, because I've only just recently started to be turned on to looking at crypto. And when Damien was looking at this ending diagonal thing, and then I went from Bitcoin to the total cap, and it made a significant difference in the pattern. Just like that unweighted US dollar index sometimes makes a significant difference that you don't see, like on DXY.
Yeah.
So it seems like we got kind of refined art and science that just keeps on getting refined through our ability to study charts and patterns, and it's pretty exciting.
It is, and like I can't emphasize the importance of the daily sessions because it's live markets, it's live charts, it's not textbook stuff, you know. So, and also the videos on your website, it's amazing fundamentals of professional trading. But it kind of like actually it took me some time because I started from your webpage and start from the very beginning and a lot of things to learn. And then I came to see how is the daily session and I was like, oh, I don't understand anything from here. But then, you know, taking some little time, then I realized, oh my God, these daily sessions are this is the place to be. But it was also good for me to start with the videos to really to have a strong foundation, and then not to rush or just, and especially not to just go to the daily sessions just to like look for a tip or some here's a trade. Okay, you know, because yeah, of course you can do that. You can make profits from that way, but that won't teach you in the longer way how to see. Because like I made, you know how much I made, that how I took out, I came out from my losses just because what I learned from you in the daily sessions and from the videos from your website. And I was able to see it on my own, no indicators, nothing. I saw the things on the chart with the skills I have learned from you in very short time. And that was amazing for me.
So you were able to make real profit in your account. It turned out to be a lot.
Yeah, I came out from my losses by I'm just, you know, I can't emphasize this too much. You taught me the skill of reading the charts, and I came out of my crypto losses with that ability to see what's going on the charts. And I did it on my own with the skills, with the tool set I learned from you. And that is, I'm so grateful for that. And I'm just learning in every daily session. I just learn so much more. And I think this will be like, you know, I'm set for life with the skills.
It's so fantastic when you think about, I know how to do this. I can always do this. There's nothing to stop you.
Yeah. And then you also, I love trading because you learn about yourself also. It develops yourself, you know, it develops your skills of you know, controlling your emotions and you know, all this. There's so many things to it that it will actually make you a better person. And of course it will demand from yourself also, you know. It's not like, if maybe some people might like, you teach them everything, you know, they learn, and if they don't follow what you teach, they might end in some trouble. But if they follow what you teach, the roadmap and all those things, then it's a beautiful thing.
You must be familiar in your background with some aspects of personal development.
Yeah, I think that actually, when I entered this whole trading thing through crypto, I kind of noticed that actually this trading kind of fits me. But I think I have some natural abilities or like capabilities for this. Like, and it kind of felt like, hey, actually I can handle all this pressure well, and this kind of fits me. So
interesting.
When a person have that, if you can feel that you have these capabilities, then I think it will help you to excel in it.
Yeah, because it's a pretty amazing journey. And for me, I just can't study personal development enough. I'm just constantly studying.
Yeah, it's everybody have them, and like I have found some very good teachers on that also, and it's like everybody have those self-limiting beliefs and that noise in the head, and then actually finding the awareness of it first, that hey, actually now there's that voice in my head. You can just shut it down completely because of the awareness of it. And then obviously if you're in some emotional roller coaster or you're having a bad day or something, maybe that's not a good time to trade at all, because those self-limiting beliefs might and negative emotions might take over. So I like that in trading, that it develops us also. You have to develop. A professional trader will, develop himself and control his emotions.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize how much, unless you have a big life crisis or you have a lot of stress, you will see it affect your ability to trade, but not realize that it's happening.
Yeah. And then like certain times of the market, like if there's some long correction going on, like first of all, before I didn't even understand what it is. And now I can see that, hey, actually, yeah, I might go to a very short time frame here and find some opportunities here, but I can also just like, not trade at all here because I know that, there's a correction going up and down and up and down. Like there's not really, it's sometimes the best opportunity is not to trade, kind of like in this, but now I can see that. Before I couldn't see, now I can see it's okay. That's what the markets are doing. Now for me, actually it's a good time to see and follow. And then there's so much to learn also. Like I have always believed that, and I have always learned the best from failing, from failing forward. Because the mistakes kind of, I haven't read any book like that, but I've heard the term fail forward.
Oh yeah. But, I haven't read the book either, but I heard someone say it's really good. Called Failing Forward.
Yeah, because the mistakes are the best teachers if you want to learn from them. And that will also, it's part of the self-development. You have to be ready to self-develop yourself, because then you will learn from the mistakes. They kind of go hand to hand. But for me, the mistakes have been the best teachers in everything I have done. And I see it's like experience is the best teacher. And experience means making mistakes and learning from the mistakes. Nobody will, be a master in anything and have never made a mistake.
Yeah, it seems like success and excelling and achieving your potential in anything, that's something that you have a lot of experience with in other areas. So if you're a perfectionist, like I can find that I'm a perfectionist about things, and it's okay because that helps you in some ways, but it really does limit you when you just stick with this perfectionist thing. You can't make a mistake, and that's definitely a limiting belief that childhood gets for us, when we can't accept any mistake at all.
Yeah, one of the greatest things I have, learned a couple of years ago is like to let go of like the limiting beliefs, or to let go of if something happened, I start to like regret it, like in any field of life, and I start to regret like, hey, okay, why did I say this, or blah blah blah, then just let it go. Like it just like, why am I holding on to something, like, and that has really worked with me to let go of that, to accept that, hey, okay, now I let it go. Okay.
That's so true.
Because then I can see the use of that, and that I haven't, learned in trading or anything, just from another, field of life. But now I can see how that can be used in trading also. Oh, I made a bad mistake. Yeah, just let it go, because then you will maintain the calm state, and then you can learn from it and go forward from that more calm, more neutral space.
That's excellent that you already have a lot of these personal development qualities that are helping, the things that can help you in trading. And that's interesting that you were saying this seems to fit me, probably because of realizing how much it's a personal development journey. It's a journey to discover yourself.
I definitely have a passion for trading now, and then it's not an addiction. That's what addiction is, can take a person to do a lot of bad trades, because if you're just addicted to trading, so it's not about addiction. So it's about passion and for the long term.
Yeah, there's a difference between passion and addiction. So much I have been learning recently about success is a process of creating the right habits. And you kind of have to do that in trading and other areas to stop the bad habits and start making good habits.
Exactly. And actually, I was watching some video about the compounding effect. I think if that's the name for it. But what was it? Einstein? Was it Einstein who figured it out, or actually did he call it the eighth wonder of the world? not
investing
completely sure of
in
that,
general.
but yeah, like the compounding effect that if like there's always the example with the chessboard that if you make 100% of you have one, and then you make 100% of that is two, and then you make 100% of that is four, and then 100% of that is eight, and so on. And until you go to the end of the chessboard, it's I can't remember the number, but it's like some insane number. Like it's not billions even, it's insane.
Oh, yeah.
So that compounding effect. So in trading, like if you have this risk management that you're willing to risk smaller amount than what you're potentially gaining, and then when you stick to that, then actually the compounding effect will work on your behalf. And on your webpage, on the website, there's those videos about that system of how to keep. If you do like this, if you have a risk management that is, let's say 1% or 2%, something like that, then you're able to make so many losing trades. If you make one trade, that will be 4 or 5%, so or 10% gain. So it's kind of like also understanding that fact for the long term, because I think maybe I've heard that many traders who start, they might not last for 3 months. And why is that? That's because of not having a proper risk management and all the other things, obviously.
The people who make it past that point, like you were saying, you may have had a whole bunch of amazing increases in the beginning, and then that got you passionate because of that, but then it enabled you to start to discipline yourself so that you don't just keep on trading insanely and not know why you're entering.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm past 3 months. I started like beginning of, I think like February or something. So I'm way past 6 months already in doing trades and trading. But I'm still a baby. I'm still a first year student. So there's a lot to learn, and I'm so excited for it. And I just can't emphasize this too much, how grateful I am to find you, because I think you're one of the greatest mentors.
You must have made a lot of progress in that short amount of time, because the discoveries that you mentioned took you to Wyckoff and to Elliott Wave in general, and then into our training. I think it was pretty auspicious that you were guided that way.
Yeah, that's what I believe also in this. Like, it's kind of like I was led to you, and it's a part of my journey, part of, pieces of the puzzle coming together. But I also have my experiences from other fields of life in self-development. So I have the qualities, and then I have the burning desire, and I have the open mind. And, I have those, they're kind of skills already, but they're coming from somewhere else. And now I can see that they all fit together. And then I have this, very interested, and I like to dive deep on things. And I'm not afraid of making mistakes or asking stupid questions, or time is the most valuable thing we have. So I'd rather get as much as I can from a learning session or something. So I think many people also hold back. I don't want to, I want to pretend like I know everything. But if you know everything, then why are you, I think you should be doing fine if you know everything. So I'd rather be like, how could I make this better? Like, stay in the question. Question will always activate your mind more than period.
It's like it's a never-ending quest for more and more refinement and more skill.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been learning more and more about how motivation, drive, passion, and the ability to visualize your future, and those are the things that successful people know about, and that a lot of people who aren't successful, they haven't yet activated those qualities. And so if you're already kind of familiar with that, you've got success before doing things, then it's just now applied to trading.
Yeah, exactly. I've had those things before already, before trading. And I think those things kind of led me in here. That's how I see it now. I'm finding something that the masses of the people are not. The masses are like, hey, everything's gonna go up, or that, and then going against that is psychologically hard. for people, but actually that's where the biggest investing opportunities are. If something is completely oversold, for instance, like now I found one instrument that is like, it's 3 cents at the moment. And then I'm like, this is 3 cents. And this was like 11 euros in a couple of years ago. So it's like, that's the other side of things. But trading is something that I'm looking for it to become my kind of like a job, if you could say a job. But it's like something you can really raise capital with it and then actually make a living out of it. That's why I'm studying to be a professional trader. That's why somebody would go to study to be a doctor. That, hey, then I can be a doctor, you know, and have a good salary and everything. So that's what I'm looking for, professional trading. But the success and the wealth building and all that, I'll have different components also. Invest something here and invest something there. But this trading is like, if this makes any sense.
Actually, yeah, I think it's going to be very exciting to see how people in our group start to share ideas about investing in other areas, because I think that trading is a capital generation activity. And after you generate some capital, then the next thing, the logical step would be to invest in something else. It could be real estate, it could be small businesses, or anything that produces income would be nice.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for also, that the trading will be the trading will set me financially free, because trading will generate the capital and then I can reinvest the capital. That's basically what I need.
And then if you have that along with your life mission, and it's just part of, this is who I am and this is what I want to do for myself and for the world. And so trading is the vehicle that's going to take me there.
Exactly. And I'm just so grateful to found you, and it's amazing what I've learned and how you have developed your teachings. It's better than any books, I'm telling you. It's better than anything.
I'm very glad and very gratified that you've had this much benefit from it. You're able to get full benefit at such a short amount of time without having to spend years. Like in 6 months, you probably had a lot more development than many people.
Maybe, yeah, but I'll definitely stay for many years, because I know that it will just give me more and more of those experiences.
Trading can be a pretty lonely kind of isolation kind of activity unless you're part of a group that has a common purpose. That makes it nice.
Yeah, it's true. And also it's like the trading group and the live sessions is like it's many minds put together. So it's more powerful than just the one mind.
Yeah, just like Napoleon Hill was the one who coined the term, I think, mastermind. And he was one of the people who taught creating kind of a internal mastermind that you do inside with other great minds and just do it internally. It does something to your mind that causes you to rewire your brain when you do those kinds of practice.
Yeah, exactly. And that book, The Think and Grow Rich, is a wonderful piece.
I'm so interested to watch the new movie, because there's several people that have been mentors in one way or another of me who are in the movie, and I just want to see what they have to say.
Yeah, I got to see that. I heard about it, yeah.
It's always exciting to see other people in the world coming together for a project and see what they're saying.
Yeah, and then I start to listen. I did listen Rich Dad Poor Dad from an audiobook. Then I bought the hard copy. The same thing with Think and Grow Rich. Listened to audiobook, bought the hard copy. The original one, they have that kind of, I think it's quite new print. It's the original version. And then also the Science of Getting Rich. I've listened to the audiobook, Wallace D. Wattles. And Bob Proctor, he have some amazing stuff also. Like a big change happened to me when I start to do this manifestation, that I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a constant basis. It's just
excellent.
that's a golden one. I try to do it every day, you know, and it's you can actually do it for anything. And I believe, you know, in ancient religions and cultures, there's been this theme of mantra, and then kind of like prayers are kind of like the same thing. So I'm not a religious person, but now actually through these manifestations and these things, then I start to realize that in this mantra, there's like this kind of like, I don't know, I don't even have to explain to myself what it is. I don't need to, but if I could express it in some way, I could say maybe it's kind of like self motivation or self hypnosis or whatever it's called. You can, you know, label it any way you want, but what it does, it kind of like activates your brain. And Bob Proctor is talking about the frequencies that then you start to. These are all like terms. You could say frequency, you can say whatever it is. For me, it doesn't matter. For me, what matters is that I do it. People might think I'm crazy. I don't care, but it works. Things start to happen. It does something to my brain and it works. So that's all I care. But I think it's actually many people think that, hey, that is crazy. I wouldn't do anything like that. That sounds crazy. And they wouldn't even try, you know. So I think Bob Proctor is doing a great job on that, like pushing people to try these things. Just, you know, keep doing what works. So I would keep doing it.
I totally agree, because I do lots of stuff that a lot of people would not believe in. If it does work, I mean, that's how the universe does operate, whether people acknowledge it, believe it, or whether they don't. It still does it.
Yeah, I agree. And about that concept of letting go, it's also like I have realized how much judgments are there inside of us, what have happened when we were younger in teens or whatever. I discovered, and this is like maybe a year ago or something, I discovered like major things, like from my like past, like what somebody said when I was like 17, that kind of, it stuck me like an arrow and was left inside of me, that judgment. And then I did so many things to prove myself that it's not like this. So I kind of like resisted that judgment, and actually I was holding that on, and that had like, I had made my life like so much more complicated and it's so much more heavy. And then when I realized, oh my God, I've been carrying stuff like this, just let it go, you know, let go of those judgments and just maybe live in the question mark and no judgments and letting go. And of course, this is also like, it's not like we are some superhuman beings that we will never have a bad day or whatever. No, it's nothing like that. But it's just like the compounding method or anything. Like, hey, let's try to be like 80% here in this letting go. And when we get a bad day or something, we can have the awareness to realize that, hey, no, okay, actually I'm going here. So no, I could just let it go. And like, but having all these judgments and having all this heaviness and all that heavy energy and all that I think is just one of those limiting beliefs and actually a limiting energy. We're limiting ourselves from anything that's the infinitive possibilities that the universe delivers. We're blocking it. Part of being a human. We cannot like expect that everybody had or you have to have a perfect childhood or whatever. But it's our path as human beings to develop ourselves, to become better. Yeah, and I like how you said that you don't believe that there's a hopeless world ahead of us. So kind of like I have this, when we have positive mindset and we don't have to have judgment, we can have the clear and calm mind, kind of neutral mind. But if we have a positive mindset, and I believe there's a lot of power in that. Because through the positive mindset, you can achieve great things.
Yeah, I noticed that is coming up in the energy of our group now. And that's like we're taking on a kind of an energy collective soul of people who want to be positive.
And for me, I know that I will never give up, kind of. So it's like there's no... that's like the burning desire to thrive, to expand financially and in any other means. It's not there's no option to that. There's no like, oh, but now it didn't work, so now you can go to something else. No, that doesn't exist. So I think that's also one thing that is important to have too, because then you will just it will also be like the compounding method, that you'll be in the game forever as long as you learn, and how you teach us to make high probability trades, then you're set you're set for life.